Let's roll. Smoke. Fire in the hole.
Hi, welcome to Counter-Strike. I hope you have fun.
Good luck, have fun, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good luck, have fun. Hi, what brings you here today?
Would you like to play a game?
I like games. Thank you, everybody, for being my teammates.
Kill, kill, kill.
Lock and load.
Mid.
Mid me, mid where?
Easy.
Yep.
B.
Z, one more. Haven't.
Yikes. He kind of collapsed pretty quick.
Let's go.
It's quite a lot mid.
I'm with Chaperpa.
It's A, guys.
your gear and let's go. Deploying decoy. Laying down smoke. Throwing smoke. Throwing a grenade. Throwing flashbang.
Got some action at B.
Mid one.
It broke, Ben.
He's hurt for 31.
Flashbang. Bomb has been planted.
One vent. Or mid. B main up.
Get back!
I'll go mid.
Lock and load. Decoy. Flash.
Wow. My op is down in Z. Mid garage.
Got an opera back in garage.
Left to right. One cat.
One truck.
45 truck.
Bomb has been planted. Aruzi! Decoy's out. Throwing fire. Deploying flashbang. Decoy's out.
Wow.
Throwing flashbang. Grenade out.
Highway.
One's boost.
Smoke.
Bomb down mid.
Deploying flashbang. Grenade out.
Okay. He's dark area.
He's cubby, bro.
Plus, he could be behind white box or dark.
Behind you. Okay, I'm not going mid anymore.
Let's go.
Boost. 54.
Alright, let's do this. I'm gonna go A.
Let's go. Throwing smoke. Throwing a grenade.
1A main.
Boost.
Don't let them push mid. Smoking off A main.
We're pushing. Vent and
Bro,
boost.
how do I never see this guy?
It's okay, guys. I got him for 17.
Oh yeah.
Our goal is to not get 16-0'd. That's gonna be a win for.
Let's go, people. Decoy. Throwing flashbang. Deploying decoy.
That was bomb. No.
I think garage 83.
Damn, it's like they know everything that we're doing. Backers.
Riggs seems to know how to outplay just about everyone.
They all do.
Is it just me, or did he? You could hear him, but you couldn't see him, and then it was there.
Dude, that's what it feels like. Like I can't see them and they kill me.
Yeah, they just show up.
Like legit, I did not see them by the time I was dead.
Well, yeah, I was watching him on that one, and you could hear him, and then all of a sudden he was in front of him.
Grenade out.
Bomb mid.
Decoy. Deploying flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Smoke.
I think bomb's going A. Yeah, 1A main.
Grab off quad. Please grab. Thanks, bro.
Finally got around, boys.
They're not gonna 16-0 us.
Let's go.
Sir, our goal 16-2 now, boys.
Yep.
Laying down smoke.
B
Incendiary.
main.
Flashbang. Fire in the hole. Grenade out.
There are two.
They broke vent.
Throwing flashbang.
Got the bomb down vent.
Yeah.
There's two in there.
Don't let him go back vent.
Smoke.
There's only one guy left.
I'm gonna go hold bomb.
He's an opera.
Where is he?
So top frag, he's done this before. Don't do stupid cocky things.
I got him beat.
Play for time.
Yeah.
Incendiary out.
Just gonna need
He's
it
out
eventually.
checkers.
Throwing smoke. Throwing fire. Throwing grenade. Incendiary. Counter-terrorists win.
Nice.
Move it! Move it!
They smoked mid.
B main.
They're pushing up mid.
Alright.
Incendiary out. Deploying flashbang. Flashbang.
Is he under heaven? They're pushing out on B.
He was checkers.
area. Yeah.
Fire in the hole.
One's at 55 on B.
Put the volley down.
Good try.
Dude, I haven't gotten plowed this hard in a
Let's
while.
get this done. Deploying decoy.
I started my morning with a good plowing like this. So. It happens. B main, B main. They're out. They've got B. Two in checkers.
One A main.
I'm down.
I'm down B.
Inside. Nice. Two more. Last guy.
Hey, main, last guy's on site.
On A.
We got bomb B.
That truck.
He's leg. He's
Leg.
leg.
Goes out.
One each for you guys.
He still has a minute, so.
One, one, and
You
he's.
gotta
Oh.
be kidding me.
Where is he?
He's truck.
Alright.
Get my
Piss
ops.
off.
My ops by the ladder. Dude, behind you.
Let's move! Shake a tail feather! Incendiary. Grenade out.
He headshot me for only 7 damage.
B main.
How many? Why do we have three?
One B main. At least.
Squeaky pushed out
Two
with
B main.
60.
B main. Bomb down.
I'm down B.
Flashbang.
Could be above you, Green.
He's on
He's up
site.
checkers.
One on A.
Bomb's not me. We called it green. I don't know what you're doing holding mid still.
He can't escape.
Truck.
2A.
Throwing fire. Flashbang. Laying down smoke.
Nice.
Nice play. Really nice play. Nailing
Yeah.
1B, and I'm doing garbage.
I'm flashing.
Deploying
Orange.
flashbang.
B main, B rush. It's all B.
Incendiary. Throwing fire.
Hit B.
Tree dead.
Throwing a grenade. Throwing smoke.
B main? Don't know how the hell he saw me.
Incendiary out.
They have bomb, right?
Yep.
Alright.
Mid.
Deploying flashbang.
He's mid. Going highway.
Throwing grenade.
Grab op Z or that one. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Can I have that? Actually, I have money. You can keep it.
Okay, thanks.
Flash round buyout.
Let's go. Laying down smoke. He goes out. Fire in the hole.
B main.
Right? Nice. Stay alive.
Throwing
Yeah.
flashbang.
Stay.
Yeah. There was only one more. Two of them actually.
Stay mid.
Flashing under heaven.
Checkers.
Try your cross if you could just hide tight. I'll let you know if you cross. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about B green. Go in there. Go in there.
Checkers.
One dead B. 2v4.
The one in checkers is down to 50.
Throwing
Last
flashbang.
guy.
Throwing smoke.
He's mid.
Boost me, purple.
Yeah.
He's trying.
Truck.
He's legged. He's
Every
legged.
time.
He's
Every time.
for you guys.
Wow.
Wow.
There's no time.
Yeah, no time.
Nice.
Guys guys want to try rushing mid?
Sure, bro. Let's go.
Sure.
Let's do it. Nice. Let's go.
Come on. Help.
One is B main.
Bomb down here.
He's Z area. Yeah, Z. I wouldn't peek, he has range of.
Just play time, guys. Crouch down here, Green. Just crouch. Look left. Move left. Yeah, and crouch left. He's
Just
upside
pushing
side.
site.
Hide. No kit.
High. Play ring around the Rosie.
Nice, boys.
Oh, that knife money. Oh, what about mid again?
Nah, let's just watch pushes. They're gonna push somewhere there. They don't have guns.
Yeah.
Let me get a boost then.
Yeah.
Drop bomb.
Push it.
Careful, Green.
Come in, guys.
Come A, is that what you said?
Yeah. Let's go.
Forward.
Grab bomb.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought I heard him flash out truck.
No, he's truck.
low HP,
That was a
bro.
bad call.
Come boost me quad here.
Truck.
Stay.
My bad on the bad call.
Dude, I'm getting carried. I can't say shit.
Cat.
Nice. Take it, guys. I got
Do it.
my friend.
Planning.
One's coming.
One's push.
Flashing quad.
Mid there.
Wow.
He's on site. Nice.
Last one's truck area.
Flashing.
Can I get my SG back for?
They're gonna have an ops this round.
Really? I thought they forced spot. Oh, they're full lost bonus.
Russian. They got my AK B main.
One's garage. Yeah.
Let's go B. Let's go B, guys.
All fake.
B.
Eh?
Odd back check.
Up where?
Back
3
stop.
on 1.
Plan for 3 or something. He could be vents or B.
Planted for everything. I think I heard him be main.
I can buy someone.
Did I get an SG?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
They lost one.
That was their offer guy.
Yeah, they lost a player.
Is he lockers?
Got it. One sandbags, I think. Guys, I think it should be clear. Never mind.
One's mid.
Trade him.
Is
Why
out.
are you guys so scared to push? Push out.
One's mid.
One was forklift.
Alright. I'm gonna go squeaky.
He's truck dead. B's clear.
One A main.
Your teammate's tree. B's clear. Go purple.
Alright.
One's in main though, so be aware.
Yeah.
Stay alive. You don't need to die here. Stay alive. Stop peeking, man.
Planting open.
Down. One's heaven, one's tree.
Peek heaven right now. Peek heaven. Tree.
He reconnected. Good job, Gordy boy. Good carrying.
Okay, run out of everyone. I'm following you guys out. I need to be the last one alive so I can win you around every time. Why? Green, why are you going B with ball?
Not bad.
Flashing out A. Turn around, flashing out again. Turn around. Let's go, push. Go, push.
Quad and forward.
Full blind.
Damn.
He's
He's
cat.
cat. A main. He's white.
Dude, if you guys aren't gonna push out, I'm like, I don't know what to do. We're never gonna win. We're never gonna win.
I'll push. I'll push with him.
I pushed, but I got flash and shot in the head.
Hey, everyone just do your own thing, man. Honestly, you guys aren't
Yeah.
already
Just
know,
play
man.
for picks.
This is easy. We kill them and throw the decoy. Flashbang out.
B side's clear, come B.
Yeah, they spotted bomb here. Let's go. I'll fake A.
Oh! Oh, there's a guy behind us.
Come B,
Okay,
guys. Have B.
is an A for 7.
Green, are you retarded? Come B, dude.
Dude, there's a guy behind us. That's what I'm saying.
Then you guys
What do you want me
push
to
him.
do?
I'm sure he won't bring you both down. You're both shooting at him. Nice. Peek one by one. Peek one by one. Peek one by.
Dude, that's what I was saying the whole time. There's a guy behind us. And now you're mad at me for what?
Draw me an AK, Green. Green, draw me an AK. Okay, rush B. Everyone rush B. Come. I wanna flash you guys out. Rush B. You guys have deagles. Go first. Go. I'm over. Flash.
He's on site.
Dead.
Bomb down.
For me? Plan for B.
Activating the bomb. Flashbang.
AK in front of you, perfect.
Alive.
Grenade out.
Got your headshot cross. He's heaven. Shot.
Get the AK. Purple.
The bomb is stick. This is what we have been working for.
On B again. Rush B. Run him down. Run the upper down.
They should be out this round.
Throwing a flashbang.
Come, why am I the first one going out, dude? Let's go.
Throwing a flashbang. Smoke.
2 behind, 3 behind. Plant bomb.
2 more behind. 2 more.
Planted.
Top down, underneath. Okay, whoever's entering, bro, no one buy flashes. No one buy flashes. I'll be the only one flashing out. Just run out. That's all I want to do. Just run out there. Why do you keep flashing, bro? You're blinding our teammates one down, you're blinding them. Stop flashing, bro. Run out of it.
We must win.
I said A, yo. Are you guys fucking retarded, bro?
Yo, chill out, bro.
I'm completely brain dead from you just telling everyone to rush. That is literally the most silver mindset I've ever heard of. Everyone rush,
Yeah.
everyone push, everyone rush. Like, it's like, it hasn't worked. See?
I
Let's
rushed
go.
out, I was the first one out, and I was the first one dead with an op, and no one was there to get the trade.
We did. It's a 2v2. Clearly, it's a 2v2. That means we traded 3.
Give me the bomb if you're gonna go first.
You go first.
Then Why would you give him the bomb?
Why are you walking, bro? Come. This is what I'm talking about. You guys don't know how to push.
Dude, you're so toxic all of a sudden,
You
man.
gave
Just
him the
play.
bomb and then told him to push with the bomb.
Yeah, and I would have traded.
Vent, vent.
I gotta mute this guy. Hold him.
Yeah, good idea, dude. I did the same thing. We're literally gonna lose because of this guy.
Just he went all toxic all of a sudden. It's sad. We're doing okay.
Hey guys. Throw in the flashbang.
One A side garage.
If they so much as touch our hair, they will all die quickly. Flashbang. Flashbang. Throw in smoke. Throw in the flashbang. Flashbang.
One's still white box. crazy.
What happened to Belle Delphine? She hasn't posted anywhere in months. There aren't a lot of traces of her left. A deleted Facebook page, a banned Instagram that used to have millions of followers, and a plethora of accounts dormant for 6 months or more. On the information highway, 6 months is a lifetime. Many people have already forgotten about her like another broken down car on the side of the road. But not me. I bought her bathwater, ran tests on it. Then I planted a bonsai tree with it. Seriously. Sometimes I look at that tree and wonder, did she really quit for good? She seemingly had it all. The wealth, the fame, all the trappings of a world who followed her like moths to a flame. But then as quickly as she lit up, she burnt out and disappeared. Or did she? Belle might have stopped posting on all her social media, but I've uncovered some traces of her on the internet as recent as 4 months after her latest post anywhere. We can piece this information I've found together and make an educated guess about what she's up to now. Other YouTubers have made videos speculating about what happened to Belle, and I've watched them. From what I've seen, nobody else has this information, and nobody as popular as Belle just goes away without a trace. To understand the internet's most famous femme fatale's fall from grace, we need to understand where she came from. At $30 a pop, she sold out in under 48 hours. Selling her bathwater put the internet into a fever pitch of Belle Delphine frenzy. But it also brought out even more trolls. What most of them didn't know at the time is that Belle had a troll side herself. In June of 2019, Belle posted this photo on Instagram saying if she got 1 million likes, she would make a yellow YouTube account. That's not the actual name of the site, but you guys know what I'm talking about. The post got almost 2 million likes, and Belle delivered. In a way, she posted titles and thumbnails that would make the most clever clickbait con artist covetous. But every video was just a play on words, technically delivering on what the title promised, but in the most safe for work way possible. Ironically, her content on this website is some of the cleanest stuff she ever put out. This girl was teaching a master class on how to troll, and we were all her students. This is where things took a turn for the worse. A lot of people got mad at Belle for her trolling, and felt like they had somehow been cheated out of something. So, they decided to take something from her. They mass-reported her Instagram, and within a month from riding the high of selling bathwater and yellow YouTube trolling, in July 2019, Belle was banned from Instagram. At the same time, Belle started getting a ton of backlash about her bathwater stunt. People were claiming to have been hospitalized from it, though this was never verified. The most popular accusation about her bathwater was that it gave everyone who touched it herpes. I can personally tell you this one isn't true, although I did wear big rubber gloves when handling it for the meme. On the surface, Belle took it all in stride. She knows you can't feed the trolls or they'll just keep getting bigger and talking more, like a mouse that asks for a cookie. She claimed the ban was just a misunderstanding and that she would soon have her Instagram account back, but her content told a different story. Her last post on Patreon was on July 10th of 2019. She took her merchandise site down too. Some opportunistic scammers quickly put up a website that was an exact clone of Belle's merch site, selling bathwater for $250 and even other things. This fake website was eventually taken down too. This leaves just Twitter and YouTube as the last two sites where she's posted anything publicly in almost a year. She continued to promote her Patreon and Snapchat on Twitter until August 5th, 2019, when she abruptly stopped. Updates from her became increasingly scarce, and she started to quickly fade from the collective memory of the internet, like trying to remember a weird dream after you've woken up. She was silent until October of 2019, when she claimed someone stole her hamster. In retaliation, Belle spray-painted the thief's car, which she was quickly arrested for. A lot of people have questioned how much, if any, of this actually happened. The mugshot is of dubious nature, and it doesn't seem any other Metropolitan Police mugshots have watermarks like hers does. Arrest records aren't public in the UK like they are in the US, so there's not a way for us to verify that this happened. Then in November of 2019, she posted her last scrap of public content anywhere. A 12-minute video called How to Become Belle Delphine. This video is easily the most disturbing thing she's made. She plays with raw meat, knives, razor blades, blood, and makes references to having a broken heart, no father, being lonely, being afraid of becoming irrelevant, feeling like a mistake, being deeply unhappy, and even joking that she'll be dead by 30. The whole thing seems like a tongue-in-cheek cry for help, masked by gross-out antics. I genuinely can't watch this entire video without feeling sick, but it's clear she's trying to communicate that she's unhappy. Whether she actually is or not, only she can know, but the video's tone is darker than anything she's ever posted when you listen to what she's saying. It seems like she wanted to voice her frustrations or unhappiness, but she knows people on the internet just see her as a commodity, or worse. The curse of being self-aware. She hasn't posted anything anywhere since then. 6 months. But, like a superhero movie with a scene after the credits, this story doesn't end where you think it does. While all the antics were playing out on stage like a frantic Broadway show gone wrong, there were things going on behind the curtain. Belle was on the main stage for all to see, but a production has never been successful without help from someone behind the scenes. Let's rewind the clock to the month Belle was banned from Instagram, July 2019. She went on a trip to Greece that she talked about on Twitter. Maybe she took the Instagram ban as a good opportunity to take a break from being in the spotlight. While she was in Greece, she posted this photo with what looks like an engagement ring on her hand. I did some digging, and a woman claiming to be a disgruntled ex-friend of Belle's was talking. She had a lot to say. I've redacted most of this because it's unsubstantiated rumor. But what's not a rumor is Belle's connection to this guy. He edited out her face from this photo, presumably to keep their relationship secret. But that's the sad thing about being in the spotlight. Sometimes the audience wants you to be alone. His name's Joshua, and I'm not going to show his last name or face because it's pretty obvious he wants to remain off camera. After searching for a definitive link between Joshua and Belle, I hit the jackpot. The disgruntled ex-friend Hannah had posted what she claimed to be a picture of them together, and there are photos of them using the same photography sets to take pictures. At the very least, he had to be her photographer, right? But there was more to be had here. Behind every flashy internet persona, there's a grim reality like greasy, lifeless gears working under the hood of a luxury car. They have to pay taxes, and Belle is no exception. The best way to pay taxes as an online celebrity is to set up a company. This can also help protect you from liability or bankruptcy in the event of a proverbial mechanical failure. In the UK, these company filings are public record, and I found lots of them related to Belle. The records show that in October of 2018, Belle registered a company called Belle Delphine Limited. This is the month after her first Instagram post and making her first $2,000 on Patreon, so the timing makes sense. But the company had a co-owner, Joshua. It stands to reason that Joshua was helping Belle with photography, and maybe giving her advice and support monetizing her content online. If they weren't together romantically, they were at the very least business partners. But then in the end of April 2019, only 7 months after their incorporation was filed, Joshua was completely removed from the company. Belle also changed the name of the company to Innovative Artists. At this point, I could only speculate why this happened. Did they have a falling out and decide to go their separate ways? Or was Belle just trying to cover her tracks, changing names and dissociating with Joshua to keep their relationship secret, if there was a relationship at all? This would line up with what Hannah said and add more fuel to the validity of her claims. Surprisingly, more incorporation documents would shed light under the hood. The same month Belle removed Joshua from their company, they started a new company together called Plain Jane Investments. While their previous company had been classified as an artistic creation business, Plain Jane is classified as a financial services company, specifically one that deals on its owner's account. What this means in plain English is that they can use this company to invest their own money into things like stocks, bonds, and other investments. The company is still active to this day, and Joshua and Belle each own 50%. The two of them have submitted all their required corporate filings for Plain Jane through April of 2020, and Belle has signed off on corporate documents for her company as recently as March. So, what does all of this mean? Has Belle's meme machine finally broken down for good on the side of the road, or is she just taking a pit stop to smell the roses? Only she can tell us the answer to that question. It is a striking difference to go from spending 16 hours a day creating and posting content about yourself on all facets of the internet, to going so quiet that the only traces of you are found in legally mandated corporation filings. But why would she continue to run two companies if she had no plans of ever coming back? One more sign she's still active on social media without actually posting anything? She updated her walking playlist on YouTube 2 days ago. And based on the comments from that infamous video from 6 months ago, I think the internet is ready for Belle to come back however and whenever she feels like it. I'll leave you with a snippet from an interview she gave in July of last year. I think this sums it up pretty well. Thanks for watching, and stay weird, internet.
What's up, everybody? So today I'm reacting to 10 most insane weapons in the world. This is by a YouTube channel called Interesting Facts. I will leave a link down below to the original video. Please go and share, send them some love and like the video and subscribe to them and all that good stuff. Go and share some love. But before we get started, as per usual, I want to give a shout out to all these amazing people. These are my members. Guys, if it wasn't for these people, I wouldn't be making videos every single day. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate it. If you want to be and you're not, Instagram and the channel, both down below. So yeah, it's called, and then it says check out love and okay, let's go. 13 minutes.
Since the dawn of warfare, man has always how far we've
Wait, go back. What's that on their heads? What was that on their
some
heads?
unreal
Interesting. Oh.
millions. The AA-12 auto assault shotgun is one of the rarest and most sought-after shotguns in the world. It was originally developed by Maxwell Acheson during his time at Military Armaments Corporation in the early 70s. Production rights were then sold to Jerry Baber of Military Police Systems in 1987, who released his improved model
That's
in
really
2004, and a year later it entered production after having no less than 200 changes and improvements over the original blueprint. The AA-12 is a fully automatic gas-operated API blowback shotgun chambered for two 3/4-inch 12-gauge shells, including...
One second. Look at this guy. He's not even looking at where he's shooting. That's bad drills, guys. That's bad drills.
API blowback shotgun chambered for two 3/4-inch 12-gauge shells, including buckshot, flares, slugs, stun batons, and high-explosive Frag 12 grenade rounds.
What is that? What is that? Interesting.
It can use two types of magazines, a detachable 8-round box magazine or a drum with capacity ranging from 20 to 32 rounds.
Okay.
It has a cyclic rate of 300 rounds per minute with a muzzle velocity of 1,050 feet per second. The slow rate of fire makes single shots or bursts very easy to achieve by briefly pulling the trigger, despite the fact that it fires in full auto only. Expanding bullet. It's interesting to know that even war has rules when it comes to using certain kinds of ammunition. During the First World War, German newspapers began accusing the French, along with mythical Belgian free shooters, of using what was called dum-dum or expanding bullets. An official German complaint showed that the British were issuing this ammunition to its army. The bullet, a .455 Mk4 round, was a flat-nosed, unjacketed man-stopper type of ammunition.
Interesting.
It was quickly withdrawn from frontline service because it was outlawed by the 1907 Hague Convention because they could cause terrible wounds and
They certainly can. I'm pretty sure it's against the Geneva Convention to use certain rounds like this. I'm not 100% accurate on that. Obviously, we only got issued one type of ammo in the military. But them things are dangerous. They can rip people apart very easily.
Necessary suffering. It was the Indian Army that developed the hollow-nose expanding bullet in Dum Dum, an industrial municipality outside of Calcutta and where the round got its name from. Bullets with pointed tips were then designed for use in the early 1900s to improve ballistic performance, but these had a tendency to tumble upon
Whoa, look at that. Yeah, they would tear someone apart, they would, wouldn't they?
entering the human body, and sometimes causing far more damage than dum-dums. The interesting thing is that hollow point ammunition is widely used by police forces in the USA because of its stopping power, along with the argument that restricting them would harm innocent bystanders.
Of course they would.
Nerve Agent VX. When it comes to being the most insane and deadly weapons of all time, VX or Venomous Agent X should be at the top of the list. Stockpiles of the stuff have been continually destroyed since the Chemical Weapons Convention of 1997 outlawed their use.
Is this the same stuff that's on Call of Duty? In the new one, where all the chemical weapons are everywhere?
Classified by the United Nations as a weapon of mass destruction and defined by the CDC as the most potent of all nerve agents, VX is an incredibly potent and rapid-acting poison that cripples the nervous system and causes total paralysis, and eventually, the victim suffocates. It is fatal after breathing in just 25 to 30 milligrams, or just 10 milligrams if it comes into contact with the skin.
That is disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. I couldn't even imagine people using that. But people do use chemical weapons, so, you know, It's really sad. It is really, really sad.
In the body,
Disgusting.
it works rapidly by acting on a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine, which neurons rely on to send signals to muscles ordering them to move. Once the signals are sent, acetylcholine breaks down, ending the line of communication. VX prevents acetylcholine from breaking down, resulting in an overabundance of communication. The muscles get overstimulated, and the brain can no longer control the body's movements. Symptoms include blurred vision, drooling and sweating, rapid breathing, and irregular heart rate. It is when the muscles that guide the chest's rise and fall during breathing are affected that it becomes a major problem. And when
I felt so sorry for that old guy then. He was struggling.
they are paralyzed, breathing becomes impossible. And it all happens within minutes. No wonder this terrible weapon is outlawed.
Yep.
Hydrogen bomb.
Standard, right? I mean, let's be honest. We knew the nuke was going to be in this one.
The hydrogen bomb or thermonuclear bomb is more powerful than atomic or fission bombs like the ones that were used to devastate the Japanese cities of Nagasaki and Hiroshima during World War II. Those bombs exploded with a yield of 15 and 20 kilotons of TNT, respectively. In contrast, the
Wow.
first test of a hydrogen bomb in the United States happened in November 1952, which yielded an explosion of 10,000 kilotons of TNT, and by 1954, the United States detonated a bomb in nuclear test Castle Bravo, which had a yield of 15 megatons of TNT.
Wow.
2.5 times more than the predicted 6.0 megatons, which was the result of using lithium deuteride, resulting in a tritium bonus, where cascading neutrons transformed it into tritium and helium, and tritium causes extremely energetic fusion. At 6:45 a.m. local time on March 1st, 1954,
If one of them went off, like, they would be all out war. Like, obviously, America nuked Japan back in the day. Well, they sent an atomic bomb, I think. I don't really know the history of it. But if that happened, I think these days, like today, it would just be like, I mean, can 2020 get any worse? Let's be honest. I don't want to jinx it. Last thing I want is something like this to happen. Geez, could you imagine? But it just seems like the world would just be pretty much coming to an end if one of these went off, because other countries would start getting involved, and before you know it, there wouldn't even be traditional warfare. You know, it'd just be nukes going off everywhere and innocents dying. It's really scary to think that people have these weapons and that people have the ability to just set them off whenever they want. It's so scary.
the device was detonated, and many observers knew something had gone spectacularly wrong in the first seconds. The flash from the bomb was so great that men saw their bones appear as shadows through their flesh, and streams of light shone through the smallest cracks and pinholes in secured doors and hatches. More than 30 miles away aboard Navy ships, sailors said the heat was like having a blowtorch aimed at their bodies. The
Wow.
shockwave was incredible, almost knocking observation aircraft from the sky. And then there was the fireball, stretching 4 miles in diameter and hotter than the surface of the sun.
Oh my god, a 4-mile firebomb.
It was the biggest explosion in history at the time.
Wow.
But later, the Soviet Union would drop something much bigger.
Why though?
Metal
Why do we
Storm.
need them? It's so like
If a name ever fit a
Frustrating.
weapon perfectly, then it would be the Metal Storm. This thing is an Australian-made US-funded weapon and has 36 barrels put together in a box configuration that can
Australian made but US funded. Interesting. I wonder if it's a private company in Australia that the US military funded to get it done. That's interesting.
reportedly fire 1.62 million rounds per minute and
Wow.
fires 180 rounds in a 0.01 second burst. And at its peak, it can send a wall of 24,000 9mm rounds moving at Mach 5.
I would hate to be the guy that has to carry the ammo for this. Could you imagine?
Fastest mechanical weapon system can only spit out around 6,000 rounds per minute. But the
Only.
Metal Storm
Only.
ammunition cartridge is special and has no shell casing and no primer. In fact, the gun itself has no trigger hammer or breech block. The craziest thing is that the only moving part is the bullets, which are stacked up nose to tail in each barrel and are fired electronically one at a time from front to rear. Although it's really insane, the cost and the weight, not to mention the setup time for single use, keep the application of this weapon very circumstantial. Like,
Is this it? Why is it in like a cross? I wonder what the reason for that is. That's very strange.
when you need to shoot something 1 million times in just 60 seconds.
Oh, that must be it there. Interesting.
Plague bomb.
A plague bomb.
Located in Harbin, China, Unit 731 was created with legitimate intentions by the Japanese government to promote public health and conduct research that would benefit Japanese soldiers, including how long someone could survive hunger, thirst, and certain diseases. But as the war went on, the Japanese turned to using prisoners of war as test subjects, and at least 250,000 people perished at the hands of experimentation.
Isn't that unnecessary? Like, why? Why though? Why though?
The most terrible things you can imagine were done here. So terrible, we can't speak about them on this video. But one of the things they tested was releasing rats infected with bubonic plague with the intention of infecting the prisoners so they could be studied. This led to the plague bomb, and in China's eastern province of Xinjiang and central Hunan province from 1940 to 1942, rats were airdropped, and people who lived in these areas describes how people dropped like flies in hours or days, their bodies swollen and black. Luckily for the
disgusting.
United States, the
Imagine just being outside and a bunch of rats just hit the deck out of nowhere, and then people start dying within an hour. That would be very freaky. That would be very, very freaky.
Japanese surrender on September 2, 1945, stopped a plan for kamikaze pilots to attack San Diego with planes filled with plague-infected fleas.
Wow.
ANSEEK-3 laser weapon system.
Okay, the laser weapon system, I've heard quite a lot about this. I've heard quite a lot. This is something that's very intriguing. I feel like will be the norm at some point.
Thanks to some early science fiction stories, laser weapons have always fascinated many people. For a while, many people thought such weapons would be impossible to create, or would be powerful enough to do serious damage so that it could be used in warfare. But the future has arrived. The ANSEEK-3 laser weapon system, or more easily called the XN-1 LAWS, is a directed energy laser weapon developed by the United States Navy. The first prototype was installed on the USS Ponce for testing in 2014, where it worked perfectly against low-end threats and took out a UAV and a simulated small boat attacker.
Wow.
LAWS uses an infrared beam with a solid-state laser array, which can be tuned to destroy a target using 30,000 watts of power to...
This is very interesting of what the technology can happen with this, but it's also kind of scary because my thought is like, what happens if it passes through an object that you're trying to aim at? How far does it go? I have a lot of questions about this that are kind of worrying about like misfires and stuff, if that makes sense.
Fry sensors,
Can they
burnout
be hacked?
motors.
That's another thing. Can they be hacked as well? You know, because it is electronics. I know obviously the military have got the best ways to not be hacked, but still, everything's hackable pretty much these days.
Power to fry sensors, burn out motors, or detonate explosive materials such as rockets or bombs mounted on warplanes or helicopters. Neutron bomb. Another weapon sounding like it's right out of a science fiction novel is the neutron bomb. It's also called an enhanced radiation warhead.
Was that Destiny then? Let's go back. Was that
The
Destiny?
neutron bomb. It's also called
What's the neutron bomb got to do with Destiny? But sure, it makes good visuals. I like it. I like Destiny. It's a good game.
an enhanced radiation warhead, and is a specialized nuclear weapon that doesn't produce as large a blast as a conventional nuclear warhead, and instead releases large amounts of lethal radiation. It's actually a small thermonuclear bomb with a few kilograms of plutonium or uranium ignited by a conventional explosive, which creates a fission trigger to ignite a fusion explosion in a capsule containing several grams of deuterium tritium. Still with us? Good. This bomb might have only a 1 kiloton yield, but in a 1.2 mile radius, the fusion reaction would throw off a powerful wave of neutron and gamma radiation penetrating through armor, several feet of earth, and through living tissue.
That's scary. radiation poisoning is like, to me, is one of the scariest ones because you don't see it. You don't see it happening. You don't know it's happening. You only feel the side effects after it, and that scares me. That scares me more than anything because, you know, you don't carry like a radiation detector with you. You know, like when you're out on the ground. So like stuff like that is freaky because you could just be fine and then go off home or go off back to the base, be covered in radiation, infect other people, not infect, but you know, pass on that radiation to other people, and yeah, things go downhill very quickly with that stuff.
Electromagnetic railgun. A theoretical dream for ages, the railgun is unlike any other weapon used in warfare. It's faster, cheaper, and more lethal than a conventional type of gun or cannon. Conventional guns or cannons use an explosive propellant to send a projectile at its target. But the railgun uses a heavy solid slug that relies on its mass and velocity to do heavy damage. In a railgun, the two rails act like wires with a magnetic field circulating around each rail. It takes 2 minutes to charge the weapon and only a fraction of a second to fire. Upon impact, the slug projectile superheats, which results in a hypersonic spear of slag capable of penetrating armor, melting steel, and burning everything else in its path.
Wow.
Such a round could be designed to fragment before impact.
Wait, let's just go back a second. This thing's massive. Where are they possibly going to put one of them? That thing's way too big for a ship or anything like that. Or maybe it's not, but to me it looks absolutely massive. I don't know whether that could fit on something.
Path. Such a round could be designed to fragment before impact, showering its target with high-velocity molten metal. Compared with missiles that can cost from $500,000 to $1.5 million each, the railgun offers a much more economical means of engaging the enemy. Project Thor.
Project Thor?
This project has been looked at for many years, and the interesting thing is that the US military has looked at it again as recently as 2017. Also called Rods from God, Project Thor was supposed to be some kind of satellite or launcher vehicle that would be launched into orbit with 20-foot long by 1-foot diameter tungsten rods. It would then move over its intended target and launch its projectiles. Using kinetic energy, the tungsten rods could end up traveling at over Mach 10 with an explosive impact of 11.5 tons of TNT.
Is that a spaceship? So anything to do with space, it makes a lot of sense, but anything with the space industry takes so long. That's why SpaceX is doing so well right now, is because they're really fast at getting jobs done. But it takes so long to get anything tested and done that stuff like this seems unrealistic, because by the time the space technology is ready to go up in the air, the weapons may be outdated that are on it. It takes that long for things to get set up. So I don't know how much I believe this one.
It is said that the US has the technology to deploy this weapon at will, but the biggest drawback is the cost, and also the concern that non-tungsten components of the projectile would melt if exceeded Mach 10. Whatever the case is, Project Thor would certainly be a terrifying weapon.
Yeah.
That concludes our list of 10 insane military technologies.
Okay, let me get rid of that. So, yeah, a lot of them are very scary. I don't think a lot of them will actually become the norm. The railgun, I'm not too sure, and that last space one, I'm not too sure. But the laser weapon, obviously, it's already been tested. That thing has potential to be a game changer, but also a bit of a worry, because what are the implications if it goes wrong? That's my questions. Obviously, I'm like, that's way above my level of education. I'm sure there is some incredibly smart people going over that and figuring it out. Also, that box that shoots like millions of rounds a minute, that's all well and good, but the thing is with shooting is, like I've gone over in games and stuff like that I've played, is it's not so much how many rounds you can get off in 1 minute, it's how accurate they are. And with accuracy comes small bursts and stuff like that. So obviously this box is controlled by a computer, so things are a little bit different, and the computer could potentially lock onto something, etc. But I don't know, shooting that many rounds so quick. Where's all the ammo going to be stored? Who's going to load the ammo? How long is it going to take to set this weapon up? A lot of questions with that one. But again, an interesting video. Really did enjoy it. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button and subscribe. And before you all head off, as per usual, shout out to all these amazing people. You're amazing. Thank you guys. I appreciate all my members. And also, don't forget, I have changed my handles on Twitter, on Instagram, at originalhuman_. Go and check them out. Go and give me a follow. I got some really cool stuff on there. And yeah, down there you'll find a link to all my usual social media, especially Twitch, which is the big one right now because I'm going to be streaming 3 days a week, and it's been really fun so far. And yet we still haven't won in Warzone. Don't know why, but we will soon. We'll get the win. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Goodbye. What's up, everybody? So today